Warning: this video contains graphic content. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back, my fellow geeks. This is Ender Angel. Welcome back to Ender Angel Comic Book Reviews. Today we will review Predator vs. Wolverine Issue 1. We will cover the story in depth, so warning, spoilers are ahead. On the cover, we see Wolverine during his Weapon X days, locked in combat with the fearsome Predator. This should prove to be an interesting matchup. Our story starts deep in the wilderness of present-day Canada. We see Wolverine in bad shape, suffering from massive blood loss and being hunted. We see the all-too-familiar 3 dots of the Predator's aim tracker on the side of Logan's head. We get confirmation it's the Predator when we see Wolverine's heat signature in the much cooler forest. The Predator takes his shot, attempting to finish Wolverine. However, his quick reflexes allow him to dodge behind a tree that takes the brunt of the blast. The Predator then searches for him in the blast radius. Logan is knocked down, but he's not out, and he's extremely determined to get away. He gets back on his feet. He's badly bleeding, but he's on the move to put some distance between him and his pursuer. Wolverine knows he has to find somewhere to hide. In his current state, he won't be able to keep ahead of him, and he'll be easy to track with all the bleeding. Suddenly, he finds himself on an impossibly high cliff. He knows he only has mere seconds before the hunter catches up with him, and then he'll be cornered. As the Predator starts to clear the forest, Logan can hear a river at the bottom of the cliff. The Predator begins to decloak and retract his claws. However, Logan has eluded him, buying himself some more time. The hunter walks to the edge of the cliff to scan the terrain below. But Wolverine conceals himself on the underside of the cliff's overhang. The Predator is once again denied the confrontation he so eagerly desired. For centuries, the Yautja have hunted the inhabitants of Earth. A sentient humanoid extraterrestrial species, they are known for hunting other dangerous creatures for honor and for sport. Capable of interstellar travel via starships, they come from a planet with an atmosphere similar to that of Earth's, but their technological advancements far outstrips that of humans. Using a combination of this advanced technology, including cloaking systems and plasma cannons, and basic weapons such as spears, blades, and nets, the Yautja traditionally claim a trophy from their prey. It takes a remarkable human to outmatch the Predator. Born at the end of the 19th century, James Howlett was forced to leave his home when he began to display mutant abilities, keen animal-like senses, retractable bone claws, and a healing factor that gives him an unnaturally long life. Adopting the name Logan, he wandered the world for years, leaving behind a trail of bloodshed, betrayal, and loss. He has been a soldier, a mercenary, an assassin, a spy, and a samurai, eventually becoming an unwitting test subject in the Weapon X program, during which his bones were coated in unbreakable aluminium. At one of his lowest points, he met Professor Charles Xavier, who invited Logan to join his X-Men, a team of mutants who fight to protect mutants and humans alike. Since then, Logan has been one of Earth's mightiest defenders, the savage superhero known as Wolverine. Our story moves to the Alaskan Territory in the 1900s. Logan's bone claws break through the ice of a frozen lake. We now see a very naked Logan emerge from the icy waters. He tracked a pair of beavers to their lodge. He lived off the land in those days, and the beaver's hide would fetch him a tidy profit. But he has very little use for money in this day and age, only taking as much as he needed to survive. The beaver's hide made for warm clothes and a hot meal for his belly. Living in the Alaskan wilderness is harsh and lonely. But that didn't bother Logan much, because he preferred it that way. We learn just how at one Logan is with nature, that he doesn't even fear marching right into the cave of a sleeping bear. In fact, he uses it as a sentry to protect the goods he sells. In fact, the real scary animals in his mind are humans, for only they care about superficial things and are more than willing to kill to get them. We see a decloaked Yaoja ship landing nearby. A young hunter bursts out of the ship to begin the hunt. We see that it is the same hunter as the one that was hunting Wolverine in the future, which makes sense as predators can live for hundreds of years. He appears to be following a signal using his wrist tracker. It seems he has found what he is looking for. Frozen beneath the ice, he sees another hunter who appears to have been killed by the natives. Buried with him is the predator's throwing shuriken, which he retrieves and takes with him. Meanwhile, Logan heads to a small village of loggers and trappers to weather the incoming storm. He normally avoids civilization unless he has need of money or supplies. In this case, he stops into a local bar for a drink. An old woman points him out the second he walks through the door. She is speaking with a finely dressed man, as she tells him that Logan is a man that he could hire for a crazy job, especially one that's in the middle of a blizzard. Logan ignores them as he heads to the bar and orders a drink. The finely dressed man tells the bartender that the drink is on him. Logan wastes no time sucking down the drink. After paying for a second drink, he can see that Logan will just keep going, so the man pays for the entire bottle. After receiving the bottle, Logan walks away and heads to a table. The finely dressed man follows him, stating he only wants a moment of Logan's time. Logan tells him he would do better to stay away from him. The man then inquires why he would say that. Two men approach the table. As they do, Logan tells him there is about to be trouble. The two men state that the trade representative will be arriving in the morning. They know Logan has goods to sell. They demand to know where his cash is. Logan quickly guzzles down the rest of the bottle. One of the men pulls a gun and points it at Logan's head. Logan responds violently by smashing the bottle across the man's head and punching him square in the nose with his left fist. Using the chair he was sitting in, he smashes it across the second man, stunning him. A third man rushes over with a knife in hand. With the wooden legs of the chair still in his hand, Logan drives them into the chest of the second man. He then turns to face the third, using a sweeping block to his knife hand while simultaneously punching him in the face. He then, in a twisting motion, breaks the man's arm and relieves him of his weapon. Logan decides to use the man's own knife against him and stakes his foot to the ground with it. However, the first man has regained his senses and is not happy, and he starts firing wildly at Logan. Logan retreats to the front of the bar. There he retrieves a tree saw hanging on the wall by the door. Then, with deadly accuracy, he swings the saw and effectively disarms the man. As Logan leaves the bar, the old woman tells the finely dressed man, "I told you so." The finely dressed man calls out to Logan to try to stop him. He follows Logan out into the storm, telling him he needs his formidable skills, even telling him he's desperate. He tells Logan that his son has been kidnapped and is being held for ransom. The finely dressed man then pleads with him with tears in his eyes. Next, we see a herd of deer in a clearing, when suddenly one of the bucks loses its horns to a flying object. The object again takes flight, striking a doe in the back of the neck, dropping it. The object is then caught in midair. It seems our young predator is using the deer for target practice, testing out his new shuriken's accuracy. The rest of the herd makes a hasty retreat from the danger. The predator hasn't forgotten the buck whose horns he clipped. His deadly throwing weapon again tags the helpless deer, center mass, then bounces off into a nearby snowbank. The deer struggles to breathe as it continues to run away. Meanwhile, the predator retrieves his weapon. The predator catches up to its prey as it lies dead in the snow. Hardly a worthy prey for a predator. They are normally known for hunting prey that is capable of defending itself. The predator again shows its disdain and immaturity for the hunt by kicking the antler away, not even collecting it as a trophy. He seems to be building his nerve for deadlier game, still attacking herd animals. He surprises a goat from behind. He has moved up to a mountain lion, which attacks by leaping out of the wilderness at him. We finally see the predator attacking a killer whale, which is the first time we've ever seen a predator go after marine life. It's not long before the hunter sees heat rising into the air from nearby campfires. He enters the nearby village of humans. He cloaks and takes a closer look to investigate this new prey. Elsewhere, the finely dressed man tells Logan his name is Tucker. He explains he is a prospector who struck it rich, and the men holding his son are rivals wanting in on his riches. Tucker is supposed to meet the men in a few days to exchange for the boy. However, Tucker tells Logan that he knows where the men are hiding. It's a small hunting cabin 10 miles from their location. The bitterly cold storm is making the journey a rough one, but Logan carries on for the sake of the boy. He had a rough relationship with his own father. As a young man, he accidentally killed his birth father in a fit of rage when his mutant claws first emerged. See Wolverine Origin for that full story. Logan signals him to stop as he sniffs the air. His horse has a look of panic on its face. He smells death in the air. Both men's horses spook and throw them from their backs. The horses gallop off into the storm. Tucker wonders what could have spooked them. Logan just sits staring at the source of the scent he and the horses have picked up on the wind. Tucker asks Logan if he can see something beyond the trees. Logan is deadly silent as he pushes his way through the brush. Logan quickly finds the source of the smell. He finds humans and animals hanging together, peeled of their hides, a slaughterhouse in the woods. Tucker immediately blames the men that they are after, saying that they are killers and they are monsters. Meanwhile, the predator watches them from the shadows. Logan is really mad at this point. The Athabascans were among the dead they found. This native people taught him to live off the land. He would often trade with them. They lived in harmony, never taking more than they needed. But they finally have come across the cabin and decide to scout it out. They notice that due to the storm, no one is outside on watch. Tucker tells Logan to be swift and without mercy. Logan pops his bone claws and charges in a blind fury. The predator is still watching them at a distance. He cloaks himself so he can get closer and remain undetected. 4 men are inside playing poker. Logan is so enraged about the murder of the locals and the kidnapped son that he kicks the door in, turning it into firewood. The men are completely taken by surprise. He makes short work to disable them. Now that they are down and no longer a threat, he starts screaming to question them about the boy. He starts, but he's unable to finish his question. Logan is shot in the back and through his heart. Tucker walks in with a smoking gun. He is the one that has cowardly shot Logan in the back. He finishes Logan's question saying all of the men that Logan has attacked were his boys. He tells Logan that he hired them to be his gang and to do jobs for him, and admitted that they couldn't have been the ones responsible for the bodies in the woods, but they did do a train robbery for him. Tucker goes on to tell Logan that his boys were trying to cut him out, so he used Logan to get rid of them. Tucker is at the door, about to leave, when the predator fires an energy blast, killing him. The predator enters the cabin to assess if there are any survivors. The predator walks up to Tucker's body, and he repeats the phrases he said earlier when they found the bodies in the woods. They're killers. They're monsters. However, Logan has been using his healing factor this entire time, and he leaps at the predator like a cornered animal fighting to survive. Logan goes right for the throat out of instinct. The predator starts to gag and choke on his own blood, so he starts to remove his mask and reveals the face of a very pissed-off predator. Logan tells the predator he's going to carve the ugly off of him. The hunter readies himself for an attack with his spear. Logan tries to press the attack, but the predator is ready for it. Using his spear, he shatters the claws on his right hand. Logan winces in pain about his broken bones. The predator takes advantage of Logan being distracted by the overwhelming pain and impales him with his spear. Logan manages to break free and make a hasty retreat. The predator does not pursue, but instead pulls out a medical kit to tend to his own wounds. Both are severely injured and are taking a moment to heal before their next confrontation. The predator has to use his medical tool to suture the wound in his neck, while Logan is forced to remove the spear from his abdomen. Both of them let out a howling scream that only a wounded animal would understand. It isn't long before the predator has caught up with Logan. He fires a shot from his plasma cannon, but Logan is just able to dodge out of the line of fire. Logan is in full tactical retreat. He knew if he was going to win, he would have to fight the hunter on his terms. However, the predator had other plans. Employing his shuriken, he hits Logan on the back of his left thigh. But Logan is nearly at his supply cave, but the predator is right behind him. Logan didn't have plans to join the bodies in the woods. But the predator is able to jump past him, landing between him and the cave entrance. Logan yells, annoyed that he blocked his path. Logan again yells as loud as he can at the predator to come and get him, trying to echo his voice into the cave behind him. The tactic has worked. His screaming has awoken the sleeping bear inside, which surprises the predator from behind. The predator turns to fight this new threat he is faced with, as the bear attempts to overwhelm him. The predator is knocked down as the bear latches onto his leg and drags him into the cave. Logan cheers at the victory assist from the bear. He removes the shuriken from his leg and decides to keep it as a souvenir. Logan thinks the fight is over and retreats into the wilderness and his lonely existence. However, something stirs within the cave and emerges. The predator has survived and has slain the bear. His mask now has 4 claw marks we saw from the beginning of the comic. Hey guys, taking a brief break to remind you to like and subscribe, as this will really help the channel out. Plus, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified so you don't miss any of our future videos. Our story time jumps to a South American jungle many years ago. 4 shadowy figures rappel from the helicopter into an unfriendly jungle below. We see Professor Thornton is on board the chopper. He is the man that would eventually run the Weapon X program that gave Wolverine his adamantium bones. During this time, Logan was subject to multiple mind wipes and reprogramming. He knew nothing of his past life, merely a weapon being used by the government. As a member of Team X, Wolverine was on this mission with Sabretooth, Jackson, Cruel, and Maverick. We can also see the Predator's shuriken around his neck on a necklace. It seems it remained with him even through all the memory wipes. Both Sabretooth and Wolverine pause as they pick up the scent of blood in the air. Their mission was a simple one: locate the stronghold of a guerrilla force led by a former general who was stockpiling weapons for a coup. They were to do whatever it took to keep them from rising to power. They find the enemy forces held up in an Aztec-styled ruins deep in the jungle. Logan climbs the sentry tower to take out the guard before he can sound the alarm. Logan finds a skinned corpse instead, and signals down to the others that he is already dead. The body triggers in him a sense of familiarity, the feeling of a lost memory. Cruel is suddenly snagged in a predator's net to his surprise. The net is made of a sharp metal and begins to contract, cutting into him. The team starts to search for the threat. Logan may have forgotten about the predator, but the hunter wanted his second chance at his prey. And this time, the predator has brought along friends of his own to join the hunt. Thanks for joining me as I reviewed this fun issue. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified of new content. See you next time when we cover Predator vs. Wolverine Issue 2.